Good afternoon, sir. My name is Jonathan Cotto, a public affairs specialist here at the 502nd Air Base Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland office. Thank you so much for making the time for being at this afternoon briefing. And of course, sir, this briefing is an overview of our crisis communication management plan. And we're going to be discussing why it's critical, how we implement it, and the importance of today's rehearsal exercise. Our objective is to ensure that the leadership and key personnel are aligned, trained, and ready to execute effective crisis communication when it matters the most. This is an exercise scenario to test our capabilities and refine our approach. Today, I will outline our CCMP structure. We will walk through our crisis rehearsal plan and discuss the role of our leadership in strengthening our crisis response. We'll begin with our situation overview. What is the crisis, sir, and why does it matter? A crisis can take many forms, whether it's an operational disruption, a reputational risk, or a security incident. In these moments, effective communication is just as critical as our operational response. A poorly managed information flow can lead to misinformation, confusion, and more importantly, loss of public trust. The 502nd Air Base Wing serves as a crucial hub for military operations. A crisis affecting our installation has great implications not only for our mission readiness, but also for our relationships with our service members, the families, our local government, and of course, the public. The Crisis Communication Management Plan ensures we can rapidly assess the situation, activate key personnel, and communicate a clear, coordinated message. Our approach is built on three pillars: timeliness, accuracy, and transparency. Our CCMP framework and key components. The CCMP is structured into four key components: activation, coordination, messaging, and assessment. Our crisis identification and activation. We must quickly determine the severity of an incident and activate the Crisis Communication Management Plan team. This includes public affairs, security forces, legal, emergency management, and key command leadership. The decision to activate must be rapid and aligned with your intent. Communication coordination. Once activated, the CCMT ensures that all internal and external messaging is unified. This includes leadership messaging to airmen, coordination with external media, and engagement with key stakeholders such as local government and our community partners. Our information flow and public affairs integration. Public affairs plays a crucial role in verifying information, crafting official messaging, and deploying our rapid response teams. This also includes monitoring our social media platforms and controlling misinformation. Our after action and lessons learned. Once the crisis is resolved, a formal debrief will capture key takeaways to strengthen future responses. This structured approach, sir, ensures we can manage any crisis effectively while maintaining public trust and mission readiness. Moving along to our implementation plan and our next steps. For the CCMP to be successful, leadership must be involved, and continuous training or essential implementation involves three key areas: leadership engagement, training, and execution. Your role, sir, will consist of our strategic oversight, ensuring that all personnel understand their roles and responsibilities in a crisis. Decisive leadership is key to maintaining control over messaging and public perception. Our training and readiness. The CCMT and response teams conduct ongoing training to refine crisis response processes. Tabletop exercises and full-scale rehearsal ensure all personnel are prepared for real-world incidents. And of course, our execution phase. We divide crisis response into three phases: pre-crisis, planning and monitoring; our crisis, execution and messaging; and post-crisis, our evaluation and refinement. This structured approach, sir, ensures that we maintain control over crisis narratives while safeguarding mission effectiveness. Today's crisis rehearsal tabletop exercise overview. We will be using or implementing a practical rehearsal to validate our CCMP and ensure all our stakeholders are prepared. We will walk through a simulated crisis scenario and test our coordination, our decision-making, and communication strategies. Today's scenario will be a cybersecurity breach. This scenario was chosen because it poses significant operational and reputational risks, requiring a coordinated response across multiple agencies. Our objective, sir, is to validate our CCMP execution, ensure proper information flow, and identify any gaps in our current processes. Provide participants with hands-on experience in managing crisis, which is critical, our messaging, preparing our messaging, and also acknowledging our stakeholder engagement. Our participants in this exercise will involve the CCMT, our Public Affairs Office, security forces, emergency management, legal, and of course, relevant mission partners. In the case of 502nd Air Base Wing, we have over 200 mission partners, 266 to be exact. Our agenda for today, sir, and what you can expect all the way up to 1600 is our in-brief and scenario introduction that we are just now concluding. Further along this afternoon, we will go into our crisis response phase and initial activation and communication flow. We will then segue into our decision-making and stakeholder coordination. And then during lunchtime, we can expect a working lunch and our media response drill. After lunch, we'll move into our execution and response refinement, debrief, and lessons learned discussion. And we'll wrap up the day with closing remarks and next steps. Sir, this exercise will allow us to refine our response, our capabilities, and strengthen coordination across all involved agencies. In closing, sir, an effective crisis communication strategy is vital to protecting our mission, our people, and more importantly, our reputation. The CCMP provides a structured and disciplined approach to crisis responses, ensuring timely, accurate, and transparent communication. Sir, pending any further questions, this concludes my brief.